Let me paint the picture for y'all a little bit. So, the YouTube basketball scene, it has evolved a lot over the years. And when I was in middle school and high school mixtapes was a thing. Over time, people wanted to see runs of different kinds. Those who had channels was making bread and able to support themselves. But if you weren't playing college ball, pro ball somewhere, or if you didn't have a hustle like that, then yeah, you were basically cooked. And people in my city was saying, you get a bag, put the ball down and get a bag or something like that. Um, Fast forward to 2025, and the entire scene has evolved. The new thing right now is 1v1 basketball, and unless you've been living under a rock, people is really enjoying 1v1 basketball. The environment's watching high skilled one-on-ones. The next chapter, June's league off the dribble, Def in the lab, he be playing one-on-one a lot. You know, a lot of different people, a lot of different faces, a lot of different channels. I absolutely love it. Giving guys who are extremely talented in their craft a lane to use their talent, because that wasn't around immediately when I was coming out of high school. And I know up until that point, the millions and millions and millions of high school players around the country who just was talented at ball but may not have wanted to, or didn't trust themselves, or just didn't have the opportunity to play higher level basketball, they can now show their talents, potentially get paid, or change their lives just from one-on-one basketball against other guys from different neighborhoods. That's never before seen. And this is April 22nd, so we in the baby stages of it. So when I got wind that there was a 1v1 tournament in my city, I wanted to participate. I wanted to see how it was going, because I've been watching this junk for a while. I know a good amount of people on the scene, like, not personally, but as a fan, like just watching it, because I like watching YouTube. So I ended up signing up for a basketball tournament. Bunch of local college level hoopers, high skilled high school hoopers that was in my area, and we signed up. Process was, I ran into a guy that I played against in high school who I knew growing up, and he ended up hosting the tournament and asked if I wanted to play. So I ended up taking him up on that offer. I didn't know who I was playing until like I got to the event. Although I play for fun like every once in a while now, like maybe one every 2 weeks. It's not like it's something that I'm super polished at, but it's not something that I got terrible at either. Let me paint the scene. It's a local rec center. Bleachers pulled down. Guys who knew their friends growing up standing at half court line, lined up, players and people and fans. Betting's going on. Every bucket, every move, every call, you're hearing the heckles from the fans, the cheers, everything. We got a ref there for my man's first one-on-one tournament. It was set up pretty nicely. We got people wrapped around the sideline, not like bunched up, hugging the 3-point line, but they had like half court. There's people sitting on the sidelines. $40 buy-in. I'm not sure if winner takes all, or if you win per round, you win. I'm not pretty sure how that went, but some high-level ball players in here, and then there's me. I was clearly the underdog. I was the shortest, and I probably was the smallest weight-wise too. But I'm the last game, so I'm watching all different type of players and matchups come around, and I'm still pretty confident in my ability to play in this one-on-one tournament. And then I see my matchup. I get probably one of the biggest guys there, Obviously, he's taller than me. I don't know how tall he was. He could be between the height of, I don't know, because I'm 5'9". He could have been at least 5'11" to 6'1", 6'2", maybe. And he's pushing 200 plus. He's built a little out of shape, but you could tell he hooped back in the day. And somehow this is my first round matchup. Mind you, it's guards in this tournament too. He could probably be considered a guard if we're looking at NBA, but he's not a point guard per se. So, first play of the game, he wins first ball. First play of the game, he takes his first dribble. I'll meet him where he's at. Second dribble, barrels me to the paint. Strong move, lays it up. Not really sure if he made that layup, but all I know is he was going to the rim, and it was not too much I could do in terms of like stopping him from getting there without contact. And we had a ref there who called most contact or any contact because I had to like really put some effort into it. So my contact was considered a foul. So if I'm not fouling him, if I'm not fouling him, then he's making a contact layup. After a while, I ain't trying to get beat up stopping this guy from going to the rim. So I let him shoot, and he makes a couple. Before I know it, the game is 7-zip. I get the ball. All the game planning and the training that I did up until that point went out the window. I just instantly, although I consider myself a good shooter, all I basically did was shoot threes. I felt them second off. I shot threes, but you could tell I wasn't comfortable out there. I look up and I'm down 7-zip and game's over. I think 7-zip was just implemented later on because they needed to get the court rhythm was coming up quickly, and they needed to get the winner of the tournament out the way. Because they didn't pay for it. They only paid for it for a certain amount of time. So once I got to 7-zip, it 1-0. See if I could go to the actual score. They just had it like keep going. I let some people know that I was participating in this thing. They came and showed some support, and that's what they got to see out of your boy. 7-zip blowout. And yeah, 07. Probably the fastest, worst beatdown you can imagine for a first game. And to make matters even worse, I ended up injuring myself, so I couldn't even take my frustration out and try to like hop back immediately in the gym. I had to sit down and like soak it all in, I'm pissed. Like I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at the situation. Like matchups. Like why am I put up against this guy? I'm mad at God. Like I just got set up. Like I'm just set up to get embarrassed this day because he already knew how this day was gonna play out. So I went into it, and I'm not one to usually sign up for stuff, but I signed up for something that I thought would have been pretty decent in, and ended up losing in that type of fashion. That was really, really humbling. Despite that loss, I learned a good amount about myself and about like situations, especially for my small guards, where we lack in height. On the defensive end, strength will always make up for it. So I know we small guys, we gotta be the most skilled just to get looked at on the court. I know y'all seen short guards in training camps basically can't miss to not get overlooked, and they have to have a great scoring, playmaking, defensive game, just so people can not look at them as shorter guards. But as well as that, if y'all look at all small guards that made it in the league, most of them is built like bulls and tanks. Like Ty Lawson, that boy built like a tank. Eric Bledsoe built like a tank. Funny enough, I had a great role model guard when I was in high school, and he was built like a tank. So all these guards is built like a tank, and then there's me, and I'm more of like a skilled guard, but I'm thin or thinner than most of my matchups. So I gotta use like strategy and thinking and stuff instead of just brute force my way through. And guys already know they can shoot over the top of me. So being able to go through me and get all types of easy looks, because shots already gonna be easy looks, that's something that my short guards gotta think about. Like Nesco, he's a guard too. He's fairly smaller than his competition, but he's dominant. And if you look at him, that boy is not a twig. That boy works out. You could tell he worked out before he got into the scene. So any small guard looking to get into the scene, strength matters. It can low-key save you when the game is getting tough, especially when playing less skilled opponents. Because in a 1-on-1 where there's just you and somebody else, you gonna use any advantage that you have to get an upper hand on your opponent. Lesson number 2 is never underestimate your opponent, because me going into it a little bit mellow or like chill, I could feel myself have a little pride, because by appearances I looked like the better player, at least in my head, but on court he looked like the better player because results matter, and he won. I also think if you're humble, you keep yourself grounded, because all of the strategies, the gameplay, the winning formulas that I see from other 1-on-1 players on the scene that they use, all of that went out the window. Because like I said, when I got the ball, all I did was shoot. I didn't try to leverage the advantages that I had. Like, just like if I'm taller and I'm stronger than somebody, and this is money on the line or something that I want to win, I'm going to use what I got. So just like he's using his height and his strength to his advantage, I had advantages that I could have exploited, In that moment, trying to like overcompensate on my weaknesses, which is like my strength and my height. Like, I'm trying to contest all layups hard, straight up, and I'm trying to meet him to the spot, bumping him every time. That clearly ain't the way. And along with that, it's like playing to your strengths. Like, I went into my bio and I was reading David versus Goliath, which is kind of fitting because bro was obviously bigger and stronger than me, but David was offered swords, all this armor to go up and scrap Goliath, when David knew he ain't used none of that to slay any of the, or to conquer any of the feats that he had before. Like, he killed a lion. I believe he killed the bear too, that was trying to attack his sheep or his herd, and he defended them with like his bare hands or like a stone or whatever stuff that he had available. I'm assuming he had a slingshot too, because he ended up using a slingshot to kill Goliath. But he knew his strengths and he played into them. I think like even in companies, like if you have something that you're good at, you need to optimize it. My basketball guys know, like Steph Curry, he knew he was a good shooter, but instead of trying to be a good shooter and athletic like D Rose or Westbrook or some of the other top guards, John Wall, around the league at that time, he knew he had a good handle, he could shoot, and he just focused on being the greatest shooter. It wasn't like he can't dunk. He works on himself a lot, and he can dunk. Y'all seen him in warm-ups and stuff, but finding your strengths. LeBron James was going up against the Steph Curry, going up against the Kevin Durant, guys who comparison probably have more complete or more potent. I wouldn't say complete because LeBron can neither do it all, but more potent offensive aspects than he does. He's more physically gifted than anybody. But instead of trying to like be better at the other guys than what they are, you're just trying to be the best him. And he knew he could do it. He had confidence in what he could do. And last and not least, finding beauty in ugly situations or situations we may classify as ugly, because just because we classify something as ugly in the moment, it could be something very beautiful, very impactful, insightful for us going into the future. Like for me at least, I'm not somebody who's itching to like jump into different spheres or like just like put myself out there. But for something that I thought I was good at, for me to lose in that type of fashion, if I were to play again, there's no way I lose as bad as I did my first time. Like, now I can be wrong. I mean, highlights could be, I could get 7-0 and dunked on or made fall or something, but the likelihood of that happening is low. Like, the likelihood of me losing in a worser way is very low. Like, that's probably the worst way I could have lost a game. So having the freedom to know that I can't lose as bad as I've already done. Like, if I get down 0-7 and the game's to like 15 or something, I've already been here before. So it ain't like I'm in unfamiliar territory. Also, in the beauty of losing 7-0, anybody who knows me knows that I can hoop. Anybody who doesn't know me, that they don't know how I play, or they don't know what type of person, what type of character that I am, or like what cloth that you're cut from. Because most people, they lose if most people took certain L's that you took, they probably won't bounce back from. That's probably the beauty of why God let you take the L that way. And I don't know what you may do. This isn't necessarily just for basketball people, but I know basketball people or anybody who's coming into this field can learn from this. But if you're ambitious, you're trying to start a business, you're trying to go into learn a new skill or go towards your degree or something, and you failed a test, or your business flopped, or you did something wrong, and now you're going through it and you're learning that experience. You bought a starter home and it's way more work than you thought it was. Be present and understand that the knowledge or like the type of person you gonna be on the other side of this, or the person who makes it out from the other side of this, is going to be such a different breed than the person that you were before. Like, let's say your first house was good, because you're gonna have good experience as well as bad experiences. But when you get into another bad situation, you're not gonna be as rattled. You're gonna be able to stay poised. You're gonna be able to think, what the heck I'm supposed to do, or how can I make it out of this situation, instead of why me, But I appreciate y'all guys for staying to the end. Make sure to like, comment and share some similar experiences you may have had, that you may not have seen that was a blessing in the moment that could be a blessing later on. And share this with a friend. But till next time, y'all.